Remember we caught some, I remember fishing this very same spot last year. You said it all opened up, what it used to be, all that someplace.
Yeah, open up, right? Well, all of this is just floating. You see, it's all broken up.
Yeah.
But what it is it's deep in here.
Yeah.
Around these clumps. So when we get over there, you can throw that thunderhead in there. Let it drop in around those clumps.
You know, when the ice first goes out, a lot of times people used to tell me that the largemouth bass would be a lot more susceptible than smallmouth. Smallmouths just, they didn't start hitting until the water got warm. Well, you know, I believe just the opposite. I think when that water first starts to warm up, smallmouths tend to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more active than largemouths. So as we're fishing along the edge here, what we're keeping that in mind, and what I'm thinking about is, if I'm going to be successful with largemouths, I've got to get that lure right over next to the cover. And you ought to remember that when you're fishing early season for largemouth. They're going to be more lethargic. They're not going to be as apt to chase something. So you want to use slow baits, and you want to drop them in where those fish are holding. And that's what I'm going to try to do here along this bank. There's one. You know what? I think it is a largemouth. You know, this is interesting because what we're doing is we're kind of like trying to double hand these fish. Will is pitching right up close, and I'm casting out a little bit farther with a different type of lure to see if by offering two different things we can be successful. Now let's hope that this hook doesn't come out of here as I lift this up. It's actually a nice fish. It's a real nice fish. And what I was trying to do is take advantage of these wonderful pike that are in here, and I put on this hydro, which you can work like a jerk bait, but that largemouth came out and that's what he hit. So, and boy, that hook really, there we go. The beauty of fishing this part of the country, and I'll tell you, on the St. Regis Reservation here on the Akwesasne Reservation, the fishing is probably better than almost any place in North America. It's really a unique experience, and the neat thing is you have largemouth like this. You know, people don't think of the North as having great largemouth fishing. Wonderful largemouth fishing here. You have smallmouth, you have northern pike, walleyes, and muskies, all in the same water, all possible in the same day's fishing. That's what makes it really exciting. And you usually don't see anybody else around you. Well, it's interesting because I would have really thought that since these largemouth are so inactive that they wouldn't have responded as eagerly to this lure. But the other side of that is, since this lure sort of suspends, I can fish it and keep it almost in the same place, but keep it moving back and forth and sort of erratic. And that's really one of the beauties of it. So I don't have to fish it fast, I don't have to take it out of the fish zone, and I still can make it look wounded and trigger fish that wouldn't normally strike. And that's kind of, I think, what I did. And if you watch me when I'm fishing this, you'll notice that I'm always keeping the rod moving. And what that's doing, every time I move the rod like I'm doing, every time I jerk the rod like this, I'm making that lure dance back and forth. But you also may, there's another fish. You see how successful that technique can be? That's a good one too. That's very, very interesting. The way this is fighting, it must be a pike. I can't imagine a largemouth fighting like it. Oh, it's a big largemouth. Oh, and it's gone. Oh, and that was about a 6-pounder.
Oh, man.
That was about a 6-pound largemouth.
That was a big largemouth.
I'm really, you know, I'm smiling, but I'm really disappointed because I really wanted to show you all that. Because it was such a beautiful illustration of what I'm trying to teach you. That the secret a lot of times, and I'll try this again, but the secret is I'm working this rod. You see, I'm working the rod tip all the time. It's making that lure dance. But I'm not reeling the reel very fast, so I'm not moving it through the water very fast. so it's staying in that same zone. Gosh, that was a big bass. Wow. Wow, I'll tell you what, Will, it's not a bass, but we're right in the same spot, but using this same technique. The beauty of this is it's highly effective for any game fish. This pike was right in the shallows.
Well, he hit it right next to the boat.
Yeah, he did. But you know, I love this kind of fishing. I love early season fishing because all of your biggest pike are going to be vulnerable to you at that time of the year. The rest of the year, once that water starts warming, those big pike are going to go out into the deep, and they're going to be a lot less accessible. They're going to be harder to find, and most people are not going to have a chance to catch them. But in the springtime, they come into the bays to spawn, and the biggest fish are right there, and that's what makes it so exciting for me. I'm going to return this. Neat thing about the cold water too, and this time of the year, is you can release the fish after they've been held, and they got a lot better chance of living because they're not as shocked. Come summertime, it's a lot tougher. But boy, I'll tell you what, it's an awful lot of fun. And you know, I think a lot of times people make this kind of fishing too difficult. The choices can be really simple. You just have to realize that the fish are going to be in the bays, in the fingers of water. They're going to be back in there. And you want to keep your retrieve slow. The colder the water, the slower you've got to reel that, whatever you're using, in, because the fish don't want to chase it, because their metabolism is not nearly as active at that time. Now, I'm gonna do this again. Even with this Hydra, I can make very short casts, hardly reel it at all, and just work the rod, and I can keep the lure working above the vegetation, dancing around almost like a wounded minnow, and it's very easy to do, and it's very effective. So you don't have to change baits.